Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Why, it's me, Lisa, from Mystical Moments. Mysterious Mystical Moments. And welcome to another rendition of Fear Fridays. Now, tonight I'm going to be talking about mirrors. Cursed mirrors, mirrors you shouldn't have in your items, mirrors you have them at every day of your life. You look into a mirror, somewhere reflections. And through the movies, we have used mirrors as a sign of evil. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? That was from Snow White. Even Disney has kept that deep, dark secret of mirrors. Now, mirrors throughout history has been used as a sign of entrapping spirits, or spirits can come through a mirror. We've all played Bloody Mary when we were children. You know, you stand in front of a mirror and you say the words 3 times, their name, kind of like Beetlejuice, or Bloody Mary, or Biggie Smalls, as South Park would put it. But supposedly these would conjure up the evil spirits to come through the mirror and get you. Also Candyman, you're not supposed to say that either 3 times. Through these movies, they've brought fear into a lot of people's lives. But in mirror and connecting to death, there is a connection there. Now, back in the very, very early days of life, not mine, but back in the day, a mirror, you saw your reflection. They considered that a part of your life. Ancients would not want their pictures taken because they may steal their souls for the reflection of themselves through the mirror would be, that's why they cover a mirror when the person has passed away. They stop the clock at the time of death. That's where we get time of death from. And they cover a mirror so the soul does not get trapped inside the mirror and may carry on. Now, with this mirror, there's also practices with mirrors. And it's called scrying. Now, scrying is you look into a mirror and you're supposed to be able to see your future. This is also depicted in some movies, like Demons, a horror movie called Demons, where they look into the mirror and they've seen the demons coming out at them and their own deaths. You look into the mirror and you can see hell. You can see life. And supposedly, if you look in this mirror long enough, you are to be able to tell the future. And that is what scrying is. Now, this is practiced nowadays. I don't do it myself, but I'm sure there are people who do this method of magic, as you call it. Or look into the crystal ball, which is your reflection of whatever you see in the crystal ball for the future. Now, there was an actor, a very well-known actor back in the day, very, very, very back in the day, named Bela Lugosi. Now, and if anybody is a horror fan, we all know who Bela Lugosi is. He was a very, very, very famous actor who portrayed a lot of horror monsters in the movies. But Bela Lugosi was also a very wealthy movie star who had several wives. But after one of his wives passed away, he really wanted to connect with her through scrying. Now, scrying, like I said, was kind of like a mirror Ouija board. So he tried and he tried and he tried. Well, of course, supposedly it did work, but sometimes it didn't work. Now, ironically, Bela Lugosi was married several times, and I mean like 4, maybe 5 times, I'm not quite sure. I think 4 times. And each wife was alive when he was married to him, but they died after he got a divorce from him. Now, his first wife was in 1917, named Iona. Now, Iona and him got a divorce. Yes, he was married 5 times. I was right. And they got a divorce, and then she passed away, so he tried to contact her. Well, then his second wife, he married in 1921, and her name was also Iona. And they got a divorce. And once again, when she passed away, Lugosi tried to contact her through this mirror that he had owned and had in his bedroom. In 1929, he married a woman named Beatrice. Well, that didn't last very long. They got a divorce, and after she passed, he tried to contact her. Now, was he trying to contact all these women because he wanted to find out why they got a divorce, why it didn't work out with them? Maybe. And in 1933, Lugosi married a 19-year-old woman named Lilium. And they had one child together. And it was Bela G. Lugosi Jr. This is what they named him. Now, of course, that didn't work out. His luck on women was not very, well-to-do, I guess you want to say. Now, you're trying to figure out, why am I telling you about Bela Lugosi and this mirror that he tried to contact all of his deceased wives, ex-wives, to find out what was going on? I'm getting to that. Finally, in 1955, he married his final 5th wife, named Hope, and they stayed married until he had passed away. Now, Lugosi tried to contact all of these ex-wives for what reason and what purpose, and he used the scrying method, the mirror method. He would look in deep into it and have candles lit all over and ask them, come to me and talk to me and tell me all of this. And all of these women passed away after he divorced them. What's the connection? Did he have them bumped off? Did they... what? After he had divorced them? I don't think that was the issue. I think that none of Lugosi's wives, like I said, died while they were married. And they were all divorced. But in 1956, Lugosi did die. And Frank Salvatierri rented Lugosi's home, supposedly. And with the bedroom hung a huge mirror on it that Lugosi had used during his scrying episodes. Now, I know that kind of sounds like crying, but it's scrying, S-C-Y-R-I-N-G, scrying. Hung this mirror, that he had tried all of these, this magic and this conjuring up of spirits up through. Now, at first, this man named Frank Salvatierri, he had nightmares. He had weird voices, things like that, of course, that all haunted objects have supposedly had around the object. You connect that with that. But in the home, supposedly, that Lugosi had owned. Frank, was brutally murdered. I mean, brutally murdered. Gangsta style, brutally murdered. He was hogtied, kneeling down, shot in the head, as they call it, the gangland execution style. Now, this murder still remains unsolved to this day, which is very weird. But did this murderer, since Lugosi really didn't, supposedly had practiced all of this magic and conjuring up of spirits and stuff, was this the murder what impacted the mirror? This mirror had seen this vicious, hateful act of violence against this man, and it absorbed that energy into it to make it a cursed item. Maybe. I'm thinking so. I mean, they say that people in hauntings and stuff, it's usually a spirit who has been in an act of violence. An act of violence or sudden death or something that has happened so violently that it impacts and leaves an imprint on the surroundings. Objects, the bed, the building, the grounds. So yes, I would think that maybe that would be what is really doing the cursing, not Lugosi. I'm thinking it's Frank Salvatore. Now, with this curse, Salvatore's niece went, of course, and she had cleared out his belongings, and she had taken this mirror. Now, she had had it, and she said that she had horrible dreams, nightmares, visions. When she looked in the mirror, she would see monsters, she would see things, and to the point where she was so grief-stricken and so scared of this that she gives this mirror to Ghost Adventures Zach Baggins. Now, Zach Baggins owns a well-known haunted store or haunted museum in Las Vegas. Now, she gives that Baggins this mirror, and of course you have to sign a waiver on most of his haunted objects that he has there. And you can go in and you can look inside this mirror that's covered up now with a cloth, of course. And if you are brave enough, you can pull the curtain back and look inside this mirror, the scrying mirror, and see what you see. But like I said, you have to sign these waivers. And this murder, Frank Salvatore, he died in July 12th of 1982. Now, this was pretty, I mean, 82 seems like a long ways away for people, and it was over 40 years ago that it happened. But for not to be solved on who did this, 42 years later, that seems like a cold case that's just been hidden for reasons that no one should know. Was it the spirits that Lugosi had conjured up that did this? I don't think so, because of the fact that it was gang-related, gangster style, showdown, executioner style. He sounds like this man maybe had a wrong deal that went wrong, major wrong. But could have it cursed the mirror? Yeah, I think it could. I mean, like I said, when you have such a horrific incident in life, it does leave an impact on people. It leaves an impact on things. You can just sense it if you have any form of empathy or anything like that. You can feel the mojo, or whatever you want to call it, the essence of an object. Things that make you happy, things that make you scared, things that make you sad. That is what your essence of an object is. And this could have been of horror, of sadness. So, to say that Lugosi had cursed this mirror, or it was cursed before Lugosi got it, or to say that this man, Frank Solitary, cursed the mirror while it watched its gangster-style death. Could that have happened? You could find out if you want to go to Zach's, Mr. Baggins' haunted museum in Las Vegas. And you could be brave enough to look into the mirror if you like. But like I always say, why push something you don't know about? If you're 100%, go for it. If you're not, even if you have that 1% saying, I'm not doing it, I'm not going to push fate or push the limits, then don't. But I hope you like this edition of Fear Friday. My name is Lisa, and this is Mysterious Mystical Moments. Please share some kindness and shine that beacon of light for those in the dark. Peace.